Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another Coaster Spotlight Contest Edition. Today we have another quadruple crazy dueling coaster experience, so stay tuned and let's check them out. Alright, welcome back everyone. Getting right on into things today with Mountain Dew War of Steel, created by Capital Thrills. And here they say, set on the peninsula of the Pepsi Max Bay, for territories are up in arms after Voltage stole kickflip from Supernova. Disputes amongst the two territories began, leading them to start picking at the other two territories, sending these energized quads up in arms. With war breaking out and each fighting against another, one person has been brought in to decide which of the territories is the true king of the peninsula. It won't be easy though, with them being in the middle of the war. Calm is the far opposite of what reality has brought into the peninsula. With Mountain Dew is the life force and the driver behind each district. They are accompanying refineries. Each territory has its own special weapons and abilities, making each different, as well as their own sideshows, flat rides. To make them more unique, except for Supernova got theirs stolen. With all that being said, the governor of this here peninsula call upon anyone who wishes to come decide once and for all which of these four is true king. Warning, things might get a little chaotic. Okay. And there are some ride preferences. We'll figure it out as we get to each coaster. Let's get into it. So, look at this. The peninsula of Mountain Dew. Oh my good googly moogly. Now here in Canada, we don't really have much Mountain Dew. It's a very rare thing that, I think you can get Mountain Dew in some like 7-Elevens and stuff, but we don't even really have many 7-Elevens, to be honest. I mean, they exist, but I don't see many of them. I've had Mountain Dew, but it's not a very popular beverage here in Canada. We prefer our ginger ale and Coca-Cola. Pretty straightforward. I hear from Thunderbud, who's American. He locks his Mountain Dew in a vault, so his family can't have any. And apparently, some of you guys up in America, basically drink this stuff religiously, have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, every moment of the day, sleep with an IV vein of Mountain Dew in your bloodstream, basically pee Mountain Dew, and live off Mountain Dew. No, I'm obviously being silly. That's only like majority of you. Oh, no, but I hear there's some people that are just nuts over it. And because there are people nuts over it, that's why there's Supernova, there's Code Red, there's freaking Classic, and Voltage. Personally, I've only ever tasted Classic. I have no idea where I've never heard of any of these. I've never seen them. Yeah, I'd love to try them, to be honest. I like soda. I definitely do. And I'm only being a brat. Obviously, it's maybe not as crazy as I said it was, but I know some people like Thunderbud are freaking religious about Mountain Dew, and I find it quite hilarious. Because I've never had like a beverage that I'm obsessed about that's not true. Coffee. Coffee is my religion, for sure. So I could see someone replacing coffee with like a soda. It's pretty acceptable. So yeah, there you have it. We all have our taste. But speaking of which, this speak of soda's making me so freaking thirsty. I just realized how thirsty I am. It's blazing hot out today. I am like sticking to my chair, trying to get through the last recordings for this contest. And we're talking about Mountain Dew, and I want a Mountain Dew so bad right now. So here we are at the first one. This is Code Red, and this is gonna be a fun episode because we have all these different coasters. I thought one was a boomerang. I thought I saw a boomerang, so they might all just be different. Gonna have to leave your comments down below which one you end up thinking is your favorite. So roughly 1,000 meters in track length times 4 coasters, 4,000, tons of content here. So with Code Red, they wanted us to ride at day or night. All of them say day or night, but first person is what they requested. So we'll cut to it when it's ready, and we're going in first person for Code Red. I just realized my mic was muted. So let's say all that all over again. Oh boy. I was saying how I love the theming, how each one of these sections is very personalized so far, at least from what we've seen from Red. However, when we did take off, I was concerned that they weren't a part of a coaster chain because I didn't really feel like they were together at any moment, but they kind of just felt like different coasters. But we'll have to see how that feels as we ride each of the experiences. So this one here is the Mountain Dew Classic. There's a look at all the stats if you want to see them. This one they wanted to see in cinematic. Let's go. Okay, very fun. I'm noticing some subtle theming going on in here. You went with like kind of the Wonderful Planet coaster, so some very classic music. You also chose the American Aero Looping Corkscrew, which is one of the most classic coasters that you could choose for this, and that's for the Mountain Dew Classic. So appreciate the coaster choice, appreciate the music gone into it, and now it has me curious what we were listening to for the Code Red. Was it a little bit more intense? The action coaster. So I'm appreciating those differences. And what was the coaster for that one? Sprint 500, very actiony. So I'm loving the subtle theming elements that you put into your music choices, your coaster choices, and that stuff is very thoughtful. And definitely one of the things that we were looking for and hoping for when we decided to do this contest in the first place. Queues are all awesomely themed. I mean, the Mountain Dew Classic was a bit more of a classic queue, is something smaller. You just get straight onto the boarding station, is out front. These ones seem a little bit more intricate and changed. So I think they all have their own fun differences. So what do we have here? This is the Voltage, and it's a Giga Invincible, green across the board. What were the preferences for this guy? The Voltage is Chase View we're going to be going on, and what is the music for this one? Ride the Storm. So very creative stuff going on here. Let's get on this. We're going Chase. Let's go. Okay, very fun. Let's head over to the last Mountain Dew, which was the purple one, Supernova. I really got to try these different kinds of Mountain Dew flavors. We're super curious to know how they taste. Here we go. And we have a Typhoon Infinite. There's a look at the stats. Drop me down for the music. Awesome. And ride preferences for this one is going to be Track View. I'm cool with that. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about it. One thing I want to point out right away, in terms of your theming, there's a lot of different things going on, but one of the ones that stood out to me most were these big bubbly Mountain Dew rooms for the Classic. I would have kind of liked to see more of these, because you had 3 of them. We went through a couple of them throughout different coaster experiences, and I just love these rooms. They look amazing. I would have liked to see one for the other colors as well. Might have been a little bit repetitive, but what maybe you could have done is mixed it up a little bit, literally by having like a mixer room where they're combining the flavors and stuff. Something similar to that, but a little bit different for the other creations, because I just felt like that was so noticeable. But with the blue, purple, and red, I didn't find anything that was like, wow, that one element stands out in this area that's really cool. I mean, you have this like industrial area that's different. All the areas have their own theming, but there was just like, this to me was like that one iconic thing that stood out to me as being really interesting, and it would have been nice if each area had something that was like the hero that stood out as interesting. But each of the areas in themselves are very unique and fun and interesting in their own way, in terms of the exterior, the everything on the middle. So it has it all. I'm just looking for that one hero piece, that weenie, you know, that thing that stands out, and that one certainly was the one that stood out to most to me. And with that said, I think Mountain Dew Classic is going to come out as my favorite out of the 4 creations. I like the elements that you put into it, everything being classic, matching up, the corkscrew coaster, as well as the mixing room with all the Mountain Dew bubbles. It was just a lot of fun. I personally really enjoyed that one the most, but they're all really cool in their own way. What was your favorite? Leave your comments down below. Love to know why you liked which one, what was your favorite, and all that. Let's talk about the creation as a whole in terms of the contest. So something versus something, you did 4 different things and themed them all distinct, creative on their own. Like I said, cool coaster choices for each one of them. They have their own distinct colors, their different styles for boarding stations, cities, sci-fi versus classic versus whatever this is, and industrial. I like it. There's a lot of really great elements here. So I think you absolutely captured the spirit of the contest in terms of versus. The dueling aspects for me were a little bit lacking. I don't feel like there was enough precision and intentional dueling elements as opposed to, say, happy accidents and just a bunch of track, where we see other coasters at times, depending on which coaster you're on, some more than others. I know that last one, I think I saw 2 or 3 dueling elements on the purple one, and you know, you'd have to watch it back and see and count and see how many actual dueling elements there are. But compared to some of the other submissions, it's not nearly as strong, some of the others, in terms of dueling elements. I do think there's a lot of track going on here. There's a lot of interaction. You can see the crossover, one going in between the other. I just don't feel like it's as precise, where they're lining up, they're splitting off, they're coming around, or one's doing a cobra roll while one's, you know, doing an inversion through that cobra roll, and you see that crossover. Maybe there could have been a moment where all 4 of the dews collided, you know, certain things like that. I just feel like there could have been more precise decision making in your dueling elements. I still can't deny the fact that you've combined 4 coasters into one chaotic mess and made it into organized chaos. It's not unorganized chaos, it's organized, and that is still very, very impressive to me. So I think the dueling aspect of the contest, you still nailed it, but I don't think it's like in the top tier of what we've seen so far. Yeah, if that makes sense. So hopefully that clears it up, but in terms of spirit of the contest as a package, very strong competitor. Absolutely. So I gave all my reasons for why I liked it. You guys leave your reasons down below. Love to read your comments, and I'm sure Capital Thrills would be thrilled to read your comments as well. And there we go. That's gonna do it for me in today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next contest submission. Bye now.